before we even get into this video, I want to have full transparency. I am going to have one of the candidates for Senate on my YouTube Live next week. So it's not an endorsement. I'm just having one of the candidates on. I don't have time to have all of them on, and I'm hopeful to have the actual Democratic candidate, no matter who that is, on my YouTube Live once that primary is done. Having said that, I want you to watch this video, and then I want to talk about it on the back end.
Illinois, you have a primary election on March 17th, and there's lots on the ballot, but probably the most important thing is the open primary for the Democratic nominee to replace Dick Durbin, the U.S. Senator who is retiring. I'm going to be voting for Robin Kelly. Let's talk about it. There are 3 candidates running with substantial electoral experience. Congressman Raja Krishnamurthi is polling first by a lot. He has 31%, and then Juliana Stratton, the lieutenant governor, is a distant second. Robin Kelly, a congressperson, is a close third. And what you have to understand is that Raja sucks. Raja sucks. He is a corporate Democrat. He had to face substantial pressure to return donations from Trump donors. He accepted money from people high up at Palantir, the organization that is probably most known for helping build out the ICE surveillance state. He's massively ahead in fundraising because he is a corporate Dem. He refuses to call for the abolition of ICE. He only talks about Trump's DHS and Trump's ICE. And he's been teeing himself up to succeed Dick Durbin for years and years. He has so much money in the bank. Juliana and Robin are both holding themselves out as the progressive alternatives to Raja. One of the reasons that it's taken me so long to weigh in on this race is because I was waiting for support to coalesce behind one of them, and I think it could have happened if Juliana Stratton had fixed her messaging on Gaza. I reached out to the Stratton campaign last year and encouraged them to fix their messaging on Gaza. I know that Stephanie Skora, Girl I Guess, has done the same thing and been rebuffed. Juliana Stratton will not waver in her support for the state of Israel. She refuses to say that she won't take AIPAC donations, even though Raja is like the corporate PAC donation candidate, and also that she says she's not taking corporate PAC donations. I watched the Senate debate on WGN last week and watched Raja and Juliana stumble over themselves in an attempt to not call what's happening in Gaza a genocide. I watched Robin Kelly say very clearly with her chest that it was. I also watched as she supported viral candidate Kevin Ryan in his attempt to get on the debate stage. And frankly, I think Raja is going to be very difficult to beat based off the campaigns that these candidates have run. And you have my fucking word that if he is the nominee, I will primary the fuck out of him in 6 years if we still have a country. But I just want to say, before people come in and say, oh, this is a single issue voter thing, Gaza, blah, blah, blah. Number one, it's reasonable to be a single issue voter on military industrial complex issues because that isn't a single issue. The military industrial complex permeates everything in this country. It's about where we invest our resources and whether or not we follow international law, and whether or not we follow international law, as you're seeing, trickles down to how our own country enforces laws against people internally. But there's an additional point that I don't think people make enough, which is that when 70+% of your electorate of Democrats want there to be conditions on arms sales to Israel, want there to be condemnation of the Israeli state, want to call a genocide, and you refuse to do that, I don't trust your political instincts, and I don't think you give a shit about what the electorate wants. So I'll be casting my ballot for Robin Kelly.
Now, for full disclosure, before I get into the response to this, Kevin Ryan, that gentleman who's trying to get onto the debate stage, he's going to be my guest on YouTube on a YouTube Live on Monday night. I'm not endorsing any of these candidates at this point in time, and I'm not endorsing Kevin Ryan. I am trying to give somebody who doesn't have as much of a platform as the others have a say. I just had Victoria Broderick on from Tennessee running for Congress in her second attempt there, and she doesn't have as much of a platform as her opponent. So let's hear what some of these people have to say. I have a gentleman who's running for Congress, a very progressive gentleman running for Congress, Illinois, coming up the week after I have this upcoming interview. So tune in for those, and let's hear what these candidates who don't have as much of a voice have to say. Now, here's my response to the person making the content. I don't disagree with anything necessarily that you're saying. I truly don't. I am a center-left, more of a moderate Democrat than you are, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. My question becomes this, and it's an important question. If Raja or Juliana ends up becoming the nominee, then are you going to vote for them? Or are you going to protest vote? And listen, I understand that it's Illinois, so there is a high probability that Dick Durbin's replacement is going to be a Democrat. It's I would be stunned if a Republican won a statewide senatorial seat in our state. I'm in Illinois as well, for the woman who made the piece of content. Are you going to vote for them? If it turns out to be Raja or Juliana, are you going to, throughout the course of the general election, as we lead up to the election, are you going to push all the negatives about those candidates, thus hurting their chances and helping a Republican? Are you planning on protest voting, or are you planning on, however you want to phrase it, holding your nose and voting for them, or swallowing your pride or biting your lip or whatever the case may be and voting for them? And it's a question that I keep asking over and over and over and over and over again, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, only one of two people are going to win the race, the Republican or the Democrat. And while the Democrats, a lot of the Democrat candidates, a lot of the Democrat politicians out there are far from perfect and have a lot of issues, some of which that you pointed out here in good detail, we know the Republicans are worse. And we have got to stop with this protest vote bullshit. It is perfectly understandable and encouraged to get passionate and loud and boisterous about your candidate during the primary. But if your candidate loses that primary, and we have a Democratic nominee that you don't like everything about, are you still going to be a one-issue voter and not vote for that candidate? It's what happened in 2016 when Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump. It happened again in 2024, and we got to stop this shit as a Democratic Party. Otherwise, the fascists stay in control. You can have a not perfect candidate that at least you agree with on some things, or you can have fascists. Those are the options we have.